What is up, guys? Back in today with another reaction to the Berserk manga. This time I'll be reacting to volume 21, the first couple of chapters. Obviously I had a little look at this in the last reaction, which I think was yesterday for you guys. Again, really nice artwork here, isn't it? This kind of griffin behind Griffith. Yeah, I didn't actually link that together. The names are so similar in my reaction to the last chapters, but two very similar looking creatures, aren't they? And I think we can definitely call Griffith a creature, can't we? But again, really like the design. Really cool, isn't it? Almost looks like a bit of a swan. This sword here, and the feathers mixed with his hair and the armor. It's really cool, doesn't it? And his face looks so kind of pale and kind of lifeless as well. Very nice artwork, isn't it? Very nice indeed. Kind of reminds me a little bit of is it the first Harry Potter? I never really read any books growing up. I've never been a huge reader. I think you guys know that. I tried reading the certain magical series light novels, which were good, but again, I just struggle to actually kind of, if I'm reading something, I'm quite good at reading like maths equations and like studying stuff and like a scientific kind of hypothesis and stuff like that. I'm actually quite good at reading, but in terms of like fantasy and kind of fiction, I'm actually quite bad at kind of collecting those words in my head, if that makes sense. If I read like a whole page, I'll be like, I've just read like 400 words, but I don't remember, I can't put it together, I can't remember much of any of it. I think that might just be a me thing, but yeah, I'm just kind of bad at kind of visualizing the text, I guess. In regards to Harry Potter ones, I have actually tried, and it actually went alright because I've seen the movies, of course. It was actually a little easier to kind of imagine it in my head. Same with Berserk, I think, because I've seen the animated series. It's a little easier to actually imagine. Obviously, we've got the images here as well, but it's still kind of reading a bit. It's actually, because I've seen the anime, it's easier to kind of visualize these in a kind of moving style alongside the artwork, isn't it? But again, that's something I've always kind of struggled with. I was never the biggest reader as a kid, but it has grown on me as I've got older. But let's see what chapters we've got to deal with in this volume. Brilliant. That is yeah, that is awful, isn't it? I get a bad feeling. I discussed this at the end of the last reaction. Apologies to keep going on about these kind of theories and such, but at the end of last volume, we saw Guts and Casca's son get consumed by the human behelit, Nobody, as we call him. And again, it seemed like he was in the position of Griffith, which I wouldn't have thought would be the case, but perhaps it is actually the case. Again, I would have thought it would be like a human kind of sacrificing all these people, someone who would be in a position to do that, like Varnies, for example. But I mean, I know there's a link between this guy and Femto. Like there is when I was thinking that there would be a link between Griffith and the person that would be in his position this time, I felt more like a kind of character kind of parallel type deal. Maybe there is that and I'm overlooking it, but there's like a literal link between Griffith and this and Casca and Guts' kid, isn't there? The link to the other kind of realm of sorts, I guess I'll call it. But perhaps he is the kind of the larva that will evolve in this case, which is, yeah, just not good. But yeah, I imagine this is the human behelit right here, cracking open, realizing his dream, which again, I almost feel, I don't feel too bad about it almost. Again, I know it's bad, I know it's a bad situation, I know the outcome is not going to be good, but this guy, again, he's just had nothing, and this is his something, if you know what I'm saying. This is his chance to actually do something, to change things, and I quite like that. Because he's just, again, just pure depression almost, this guy. But yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Almost like an anti-hero, you like a Deathstroke or something. But all in the conviction arc here, volume 21. So we'll be covering Leaping Fish. Oh, this is interesting actually, isn't it? I'm just got to think how I'm going to format this. Leaping Fish and Bestial Priest. Bestial. I think it is Bestial, isn't it? Bestial Priest Parts 1 and Part 2. I'd just done a 3-part last episode, so I'm not sure I want to do a 3-part again, although it would make a lot of sense. But if I do a 3-part again, that means that this part here gets cut off as well. So I guess I'll do just Leaping Fish and Bestial Priest Part 1 today. Then next time, Bestial Priest Part 2 and Those Who Cling and Those Who Struggle. I wonder who is clinging here. Interesting. Obviously, it's quite obvious as to those who struggle, right? Yeah, if we do those, then we can do Tidal Wave of Darkness 1 and 2, Resonance, The Sky Falls, Daybreak. That's interesting. I think these are probably going to be some quite big chapters here. Skyfall and Daybreak. The Arrival and Determination and Departure. Interesting. Lots of really cool chapter names, of course. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about these upcoming chapters down in the comment section. Leave a like on the video if you guys do like, and subscribe to the channel if you do want to keep up to date with these reactions. As I said, I'll probably do Leaping Fish, Bestial Priest today, Bestial Priest, Those Who Cling next time, Tidal Wave of Darkness Part 1 and 2. Not sure what I'll do a triple for, but I'll do a triple for a set of these last 5. But we are at the point of revelations now, aren't we? Yeah, at the point of revelations. I wonder if Farnese is here. That is a good point. Where is Farnese? He's got like proper nasty here, doesn't he? I think everyone, they all look nasty, but this guy more than most. Was having a ball. I almost thought that was like a hand, but I think this is hair. Yep. Yep, we are really here. But it does still beg the question, doesn't it? When exactly is that time that things change, perhaps? When is that? When is that certain moment? Those ignorant slobs. What they're doing is no different from the heretics. That is, yeah, you are 100% correct, Isidro. They are same cloth, cut from the same cloth, aren't they, really? All these guys. What do we do? Throwing stones won't help us much here. Still, I'm impressed we all survived. Yeah, so am I, to be fair. It was lucky, what's his name, Mozgus just chucked him. So there's Farnese and Serpico, Nina and Guts too. Apologies, guys. Come on, walk faster. Filthy heretic. So you're a heretic, right? You'd literally be branded a heretic if people saw all your actions as of recently, right? Such a joke, isn't it? Filthy heretic. Again, all these guys could be heretics or believers. It's funny, isn't it? They're like insulting themselves. We don't have all day, you know. Listen, first chance we get, we run. Oh, I think it was just used now as cover, perhaps, to help Nina. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Apologies, Guts too. Crappy Guts. Are you alright? Doesn't look like it. Got a lot going on in that head of hers. So's Nina, of course. Actually quite funny that these guys are all together right now, isn't it? Thought I'd never end up together with them. Where'd that hanger-on come crawling from? I don't think they've figured out. I don't think they've figured me out yet. I've got to smooth this over somehow and get away from them. Hey, buddy. Man, have you got good timing? Ha ha ha. Who is that kid anyway? Huh? I can't hear you. Anyway, get over here and give me a hand. Looks like I should investigate. Commander, you hurry and find the rest of the knights. That little bastard. Are you sure about this? And he's just, yeah, he's gone. Yeah, so Farnese, I think she will be in viewing of this. I wonder what her feelings might be during this. Imagine, because we saw her backstory, of course. Imagine adding that to the kind of the mindset as well. Burner, roaster, hurry, light her up. Roaster. See, I associate that term more with fucking like online behaviour nowadays than actual roasting. Like demons, don't they? Like nasty demons. Yeah. Makes sense, Casca. Makes sense. Takes you back to this. As I said, they're like demons. It's like the same fucking situation from I guess this is the replication of that situation, I guess. Casca being defiled in a different way this time, in a much more cleanly way. To put it in nice terms. So that's a lot better than last time. But the clothes just magically fly off, of course, for no reason. But I think that is just to tell us more that this is like that situation before when she was fully naked and fully kind of at the realm of Femto and the surroundings. Now, make haste. The flame. Let the fire purify. Father Mozgus. Is he going to set the first fire? With Mozgus breath? Wait, what did he? Was it Mozgus breath or was something like that? He had some kind of special fucking move name. First time we've seen in the series, I think. Well, I say that. I think we've had a few from Puck and maybe one or two from Isidro, perhaps. Not serious ones. His guts is still taking on the shadows. As it looks like the fire's again thrown. I mean, I know some of these would stay alight. There's a few here that aren't alight. Or maybe they're just upside down. But surely if you throw them like that from so far away, they just go out. Yep. This is like the same as last time as well, isn't it? Again, different. We're not kind of captured / kind of held down, but we're held down in a different way. We just can't get through. So it's essentially the same situation, isn't it? Again, it's amazing how it's so different yet exactly the same. I think they've done a really good job of that, haven't they? Kind of manufacturing it, so it wouldn't be obvious. Again, I don't think any of these events have been obvious to happen to me personally, but it should have been obvious because we were told it was going to mirror the same events. But again, I think they've done a brilliant job in that manner, haven't they? So, is she fully naked again? Like, did her clothes just randomly all come off? No, they didn't. Okay, I was going to say. Can't bother to do any censoring, man. As the fire gets lit. Take a little while before it reaches up, but not long. And again, I can imagine the dress will probably burn off. They got to do something to expose her, haven't they? As I said a minute ago, it is quite fitting, the exposure, because it just makes you even more kind of get exposed to the situation and makes you seem even more kind of helpless and weak. And shows nothing you can do, no tricks up your sleeve, quite literally. Oh, is that the fire already up? Is that the fire right here? Already at her chest? Holy crap. It doesn't mean. Hey, are you serious? Target locked. It's no, not such a drop. Such a big drop. Oh my, let the Isidro, man. Let's go. Let's go. See, one very useful thing here would just be like a bucket of water. Just soak Casca in a bucket of water. Help her for a little while. So it's not going to fully kind of save her from roasting, but would be helpful. Ah, Isidro, man. What a little legend. I think he's maybe trying to make up a bit from his last time of Casca when he lost her to the army. I'm kind of getting used to this. Holy crap. To be fair, also last time the bloody what do you call this again? Slack? I can't remember. What do you call this again? Bungee jumping? Something along those lines. Slack line jumping, something like that. I'm getting kind of used to this. You can tell I've never done that. Heave! Isidro shot put! And what a shot this is. Go on, Isidro. Holy crap. Okay, we stopped. I was going to say, he's just diving head first into the fire. My god. I think that was just smoke that we saw a second ago. Luckily. But I think I see what the plan is. It will be. Let's hope he doesn't break his kind of ribs or anything there as well, because, I mean, falling that far down and then just instantly stopping, that really puts a lot of pressure and weight on your chest. It could easily, even perhaps kill you doing something like this, honestly. Especially for a kid as well, like not exactly fully formed yet, with kind of weaker ribs than an adult. That would, quite dangerous indeed, really. Look at all these guys. It looks so dumbfounded, my god. I like this one especially. What? They're just gonna wrap around her and take her up. It'll take a lot of strength. Oh, they've got a massive rock. Ah, fair enough. Take a lot of strength to carry that massive rock. Nina helping out, which I'd like to see. I'd like to see that. Now go. It will be exactly the same. Let's go. Good fucking job, guys. Isidro especially. Good fucking job. Thou shalt not. Mozgus pissed, of course. It looks like he's got whiskers in this shot. His mouth is crumpled that much. He has got more square, hasn't he? I mean, even his eyes are now fucking square. But they were. I think I would have noticed if they were always like that. Maybe I didn't, but he has got even more square. Strangely. Thou shalt not. Incoming. You know what? Both of the opening and ending of might have been both openings actually. Yeah, both openings of Soul Eater have just played back to back on my playlist, and it fits pretty well with this with these chapters so far. It's pretty well indeed. Run away! They got puck hold onto Isidro. There's the square hand. Get down! How? You will not escape. Holy shit. Is the shadow of darkness. Holy shit. We're just going right through it. Body first, right, well, sword first, but just full body and right through it. Bloody hell. Like, that is dangerous, surely, just putting your whole body through this thing. That's a fucking badass shot right there, isn't it? Bloody hell. The smears of the darkness on the blade. That's really cool. Bullet. Maybe. You aren't. Huh. Wow, this is really interesting, isn't it? I guess this also slightly mirrors last time as well. In the fact that, I think anyway, I'm pretty sure of this, that Guts and Casca's baby was kind of in Casca at the time of the eclipse, right? And then it got kind of perverted by Femto. So it's quite funny that the son is in the womb yet again. not Casca's this time, but the whole family kind of back together again. That's also again, it's amazing how it's all kind of brought together, isn't it? Who is it saying this? Is it Casca? Is it Casca saying this? Or Guts? Yeah, we get a little flash of the human behelit here. With a real good look of... I want a name for him. Guts' son. Right there. Climbing up. Ready to crack open the perfect world. Maybe. You aren't. A shadow on the water. What does that mean? A shadow on the water. I don't understand that myself. Is that just like a not like a cheap copy, but like a kind of surface level kind of version, perhaps? When I think of a shadow on the water, I don't really think of anything kind of figurative, if that makes sense. I don't really. I don't think of. I told you in the intro, I'm quite bad at envisioning stuff, but I'm currently envisioning a shadow on the water, and I don't really know how thematically that. I mean, it does. It probably very much does have a good meaning to it here, but I just can't comprehend it, unfortunately. Apologies. If you guys could please let me know in the comment section. Maybe you aren't a shadow on the water. Again, the way I feel that maybe again it's kind of like surface level, kind of just the shadow of the real Casca, perhaps. But would he be saying that to Casca right now? I'm not sure who he's even saying this about. And is it Gut saying this, or is it the inner thought of Casca? I don't think it's the inner thoughts of Casca. We've never had any of her inner thoughts during this bloody period of hers, have we? You gotta imagine it's Guts. Who's he saying this about? A shadow on the water. Sorry guys, I want to understand this and I really just don't at all. Jojoni, I was about to bring up on another note, on a very different note. How do you guys feel about guns in anime and TV in general and movies? I feel like in anime it's okay, but I feel like in especially horror movies and stuff, I've noticed recently I really don't like the use of guns. Not that I'm against guns or anything. Again, personally, I wouldn't too much mind having guns in the UK, but I think it would get pretty silly considering we haven't had guns for so long. I think it would get pretty crazy with the kind of introduction, so I can very much understand why that might never be a thing, but I'm not against guns at all. Again, I'm very much for the kind of self-protection of people, but I just find it boring. I recently kind of rewatched some Scream movies, and it's just kind of boring, isn't it? Just shot from far away, and it's just like a nothing kind of action, if that makes sense. It's just in comparison to a lot of really kind of some of my favourite kind of horror movie kind of kills and stuff, it really is just like absolute shit in my opinion. It's just really lazy, and you can understand why so many people there is so many problems with guns in America, with people shooting, because it is just as easy as kind of just moving your finger, isn't it? The act of killing someone shouldn't be that easy, but with a gun it is kind of made that easy, whereas again I've been watching Scream, so like with a knife or something, it really is quite personal and quite brutal in that manner. Still not, I mean, the Scream movies never had that many brutal kills. The first one is probably the most brutal out of all of them. But yeah, just an interesting kind of side point there. It's called a refraction, which means that light bends as it goes through water. This bending of light can create the illusion where there may be a shadow below the glass of water, but the actual light going through the water is refracted into a different direction, which can create the shadow, which is not cast by something. So there's pure water can't even actually hold a shadow, which is interesting. I still don't understand. I still don't understand. I'm sorry, guys. See if we can find someone in the comments that helps. Nice to see a lot of love for Isidro in the comments. Yeah, as I was saying, apologies about that. Just a little sneeze. A lot of love for Isidro in the comment section. A lot of love for Isidro. Love to see that. Again, one of my favourite editions. There's been a lot of really good additions in my opinion. I've said this before, had a discussion about this before, about how I actually feel quite a bit more personal with the with a lot of the side characters added after the Band of the Hawk. As much as I love the Band of the Hawk, I feel like a lot of these characters have been much more kind of fleshed out and a bigger part of the story, which I really like. I really like. I think it is the case. I'm not sure if Berserk was this mangaka's first manga, but it is the case of a lot of mangaka. I think I've brought this up a few times about how impressive mangakas and these people are, because they are artists. They're not exactly. I'm not. Maybe some of them are, but they're not exactly storytellers. They're not exactly kind of people that would write down a script for a story or develop characters and such. They're just kind of purely artwork based for the most point. I think anyway. Again, they probably. I've got. Who am I to kind of say who these people were before they started their manga? But I imagine they had a pretty simple concept of storytelling, and then had to kind of adapt and improve. That's why you see a lot of mangakas anyway. They improve their work as they go along, and they usually have, in my opinion anyway, a lot. I've only read one manga, but in terms of kind of the anime adaptations I've watched, they usually have like some pretty good starting out work, but then they have like one gem, kind of one or two gems in between, or maybe towards the end of their or after a few tries with different manga. So yeah, I feel like I really appreciate the way they kind of adapt to that. So, and I think you can just tell that the storytelling does get better and better as Berserk goes on, doesn't it? In my opinion, and the characters and their developments. So again, I'm always quite impressed with how they kind of transition from beautiful artists to beautiful artists and good storytellers, good writers. It's a hard thing to do. And you've watched quite a lot of movies like me. You've seen quite a lot of terrible stories and stuff like that. It's terrible scripts. It's easy to get wrong. Jesus, a lot of text here from this person. I'm not reading all that. I'm not reading all that. Just a lot of love for Isidro in the comment section again. You'd love to see that. Like I said, one of my favourite fun editions. Again, it's nice having these fun editions as well, isn't it? Just adds another dimension to this very dark story. But yeah, let's get into the final chapter for today, the Bestial Priest. I'm not 100% sure what bestial means. I've definitely heard that word before. I've heard bestial as well, but yeah. Bestial. Of or like an animal or animals. But that was bestial. So is it said bestial? Maybe you just pronounce them different ways with different meanings. So that's bestial, as I said a minute ago. This is bestial. Savagely, cruel, and depraved. Ah. It kind of sounded quite angelic. Bestial. So yeah, I imagine bestial is savage, cruel, and depraved, and bestial is of or like an animal. Okay. It's interesting how English works in some cases like that, isn't it? But instead, a fish. Oh, it carries on to the next chapter. That quote. That's interesting. That's interesting. I guess it did have some dots afterwards. Maybe you aren't a shadow on the water. No wonder I didn't understand it. But instead, a fish that breaches the water's surface. Okay, yeah. So it's almost like this is maybe not Guts' thoughts, but just like thoughts on what Guts is doing. But who's thinking this? They're just like commentary notes? Interesting. You can usually tell who it is by the what's it called? By the font used and the kind of bubble. This bubble almost seems like it is a kind of outward source, doesn't it? Like no one here right now. If anything, it would have been Guts's, but would Guts be thinking this about himself? I don't think so. But instead a fish that breaches the water's surface. Maybe Femto thinking this, perhaps. But yeah, okay, that makes a lot more sense, doesn't it? Fish that breaches the water's surface. That is very fitting for Guts, in my opinion. Don't you always love why does this always happen to me? Try to kind of like fully understand something before getting like the full picture. Happens to me a lot in in this manga and in some of the anime I watch. I pause to try and understand something that's like I was explained 20 seconds later. God damn. Look at that cape. Fucking hell. That was a badass shot there as well. Damn. Just the top of his head right there. What? Some black thing? Father Mozgus! Was that just his hat? I guess that was just his hat. I think. Where are the little flaps? Look how fucking pissed he is. Is he even conscious? He still looks, if he's not conscious, he still looks pissed in unconsciousness. Pretty amazing. I think he probably is still awake, right? I mean, there's no way he's doing all these Mozgus planks onto the ground without being able to take a few hits from the same ground, right? I mean, he did get pretty heavily fucked up by Guts, to be fair. But I feel like he can take a lot. He has a lot of take a lot of punishment. Father Mozgus! Father Mozgus was the angel. The angel was struck down. It's a demon. A black demon defeated the angel. True. True. Black angel. No, the black demon, sorry, defeated the angel. So it should be the black angel, but it's not. Again, we know that's not really the case. I mean, it is the case, but it's not make any sense. But I think you guys understand. Again, that's another quite fitting theme with what I've been saying about nobody, the human beheader. Wrong, but it's right. Pretty fucking cool shot. Look at all that blood and darkness, just almost fully covering the blade. What was? For an instant, he saw that? Oh shit! Pretty impressive. Guts actually saw that with one eye as well. What was? For an instant. See, as I said a minute ago, Guts's bubbles are shaped like that one before, but not quite as drastic. Here they are. So was that Guts thinking that about himself? That doesn't make too much sense to me. For an instant, I caught a glimpse. Was that? Yes, that was. Yes, that was. Yep, if this is truly going to mirror the situation from last time, a demon needs to be born here. A new member of the God Hand needs to be born here. Another really cool shot right here. Guts looking up at the hand and the moon. What is this? It's a horrible thing, whatever it is. Ah, one of the angels. Cass? Your master's dead. Come on, man. That Isidro again. Jesus, man. I mean, more than made up for last time. Again, he didn't even really need to repent or anything for the last time with Casca when she got taken. It really wasn't his fault at all, but if it was, he really made up for it big time here, hasn't he? Evade. Lovely little dodge from Park. What does that say? Clock. Yeah. Good job. Good job, Isidro, man. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You think I'll let her get snatched again? And again? This is my piece. Let's go, Isidro. Are you telling me angels want to steal kickbacks from thieves? Here he comes, another one. This monkey is the criminal. Please let the elf and the girl go. Looks like Isidro gets a bonk on the head from Casca. Obviously doesn't do much to Casca. I am quite interested in terms of Casca's fighting abilities, because she was obviously built different to a normal woman in terms of her kind of training and her physical abilities. So I imagine she's with kind of sports and stuff, especially. I think a lot of your muscles get kind of overwritten, and you have this kind of I know that's the case. I did study this a little bit, and your muscles kind of retain that kind of muscle memory. It retains that kind of action and such. So I do wonder if she'll always kind of have, if she ever does get a memory back, if she'll be, I imagine she won't be exactly the same kind of warrior she was before, but I think as we see from this, she's not really affected at all by this bumping of the head, which is just a slight thing. It's just a joke here, but brings up that interesting question. I think she is still built pretty well, especially in comparison to a normal woman in this universe, but she still would have lost some muscle and such, I imagine, through just time of not doing anything, if that makes sense. So still built different, but not quite as built as she was before, I think is the case. Again, I've always found that quite amazing when I study about the kind of the muscles kind of remembering kind of actions and such. I feel like that's a lot of the case when I play football. If I kick a ball up really high, my foot's all, I always know what position to kind of place my foot in, so it'll kind of take it down nicely. And it's not like something I think about. It just like happens, and it's the case for a lot of sports where things need to be kind of instant. Like tennis, you need to instantly kind of position your hand and such, for example. Always found that really interesting. That was some stuff I really found interesting about studying sports. The stuff I didn't really care about was the kind of the bones and, and the kind of revision of stuff like that. I quite liked doing a study. I didn't quite like kind of researching and kind of revising the, kind of all the bones in the body or whatever. As I said, Mozgus not just done just yet. This man has taken a lot of punishment in his time. Really cool shot here as well. Rising up. What is that? Is that his fist? Looks like a One Punch Man fucking punch shot right there, doesn't it? Jesus. Can we confirm that Saitama was inspired by Father Mozgus? Look at that huge paw. Fucking hell. That's another sick shot right there. Even his teeth are like properly square. Bloody hell. One square man, isn't he? Is that his hand? That thing's massive. Or is that like his wings kind of bunched up? I don't know. What the? Get away! Get away! Get away! Adios, amigo. Oh shit! Knockoff Guts actually done something. Actually moved. Actually fought someone. Not gonna lie, I never thought we'd see the day. Jesus. We haven't seen this guy do anything. I mean, in terms of fighting, we've seen him obviously save Nina and do some things, but in terms of like being a soldier, being a warrior, he's done nothing. I'm surprised he has the balls to do this, honestly. Buddy. You finally done something. That did it. No way to walk my way out of this now. Fool who fears not the Lord. Oh, man started speaking like a proper demon now, hasn't he? Fool who fears not the Lord. Oh, it's almost like he's growing out of his own skin. Fucking hell. Or is that just him growing out of his shoes? I think the one I mentioned before would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? But I think that's just his shoes right there. Yeah, that was his hand, but it wasn't. There's some kind of weird octopus hand or something. Like scales. I'm not sure how to describe this, to be fair. What a weird build. What a weird build. Swift is heaven's vengeance. Oh, he's still got his normal arms as well? Oh, they're his wings? So it was his wings that hit us. They've just kind of evolved a little bit. Okay. Well, because they're obviously where his arms would be, but his arms are actually still here. Wow. You're looking a bit worse for wear, Mozgus. Bloody hell. Bloody hell. It's like he's burnt that off as well. Interesting. In the name of heaven, I shall deliver punishment unto thee. Look, Father Mozgus has recovered. Sorry guys, my reading went a bit strange there. It went back to how I'd usually read it. I found that that's actually been happening quite a bit recently because I don't really read too much in general. I noticed the other day I was reading from the Japanese way, and now I got a bit crossed over again. In the name of heaven, I shall deliver punishment unto thee. Look, Father Mozgus has recovered. His appearance. His wings became fists. He means to fight that demon for us. Please save us, Lord Angel. Lord Angel. Go on this, Lord Angel. Father Mozgus? A form? Angelic? No. It's bestial. So it is. So in this term, it is bestial, I guess. Oh well, no, actually, it's bestial, right? It is the. Well, it could be both. I guess it's kind of both, really. Although I don't really know any animals that look like that, so perhaps it is bestial. No, it's bestial. No matter how much of that wicked power you wield, it is useless. Behold! My broken Bible. Oh, is that where Guts' sword hit? Such a trope, isn't it? The old bloody something saving you from a stab or a bullet. I wonder how many times I've seen that in my life. These scriptures shielded me from your sword of impurity. This is the source of my faith. So long as I take these scriptures to myself, you shall not succeed in harming my body with your detestable power. Really nice shot here. He's flipped his lid. Totally. Degenerated from a bird to a lizard. All the freak really did was get sturdier. He looks more fit in this way than as an angel. Yeah, I agree with everything said right there. Twins, make haste and seize that witch. Those other heretics shall die by the saw. That reminds me of is it Drayton from Texas Chainsaw 2? I forget what their last names are, or their last names might be Drayton. I forget, but the old man in Chainsaw 2, and he's like, I forget what the quote is. Like, you could have sex, you could have the woman, but the saw, life is the saw, or something like that. Try and look it up. Very underrated movie in my opinion. I watched this. I was quite young. It was just randomly on one night on the horror movie channel. Didn't really think much of it, but I really enjoyed it. I especially enjoyed the first half. But I mean, just look at the cover of this. It's a play on what's it called? What was that? I've only watched it once. That movie about those teens in detention. I forget what it's called. I think you guys will probably know a bit better than me. What's it called? It's a really massive. It's a really popular movie. Again, just about some teens in detention. I've only seen it once. I've seen this a few times. But yeah, I was looking for the quote, wasn't I? Sawyer, that's the one. Drayton Sawyer. I think this one actually was a bit. I like the original Texas Chainsaw, but I really don't think it's as good as people make it out to be. Probably was at the time. Probably was absolutely brutal at the time. But I actually think this is much more what the director was actually going for in the first one. It was much more comedic. Much more comedic. I can't find it. Sorry, guys. No, I can't. It's just not on here. Sorry, guys. I forget the quote, and yeah, something about the Saurus family. It's like a choice between having sex, I'll say, try and have sex with the protagonist of the movie, and killing her, of course. Leatherface being quite mentally challenged. Drayton having a really cool quote. Definitely check out some clips from that movie if you guys haven't seen it. If you guys don't exactly want to just go into it blind, it is again really funny. Like I said, it's actually a better version of the first one in my opinion. Make haste and seize that witch. Those other heretics shall die by the sword. While you're at it. No, just a minute. I ain't know. Sorry about that. Just a minute. I ain't know. I demand a retrial. The fact that you are alive in this place must mean that my 4 disciples have been called to heaven. I hope so. I hope they were. And he just cries blood. I mean, nice to know it feels that way. Like I said, they were good guys. You done a good thing for them. Also, like weird kind of feather scales. Really strange, isn't it? Almost like leaves. Almost like leaves. It almost looks like the kind of, again, what I said earlier about the skin being ripped off. Almost looks like the under kind of the muscle of just under the skin, doesn't it? With like the shots like this, kind of reminds me of again Hellraiser. Some of the disgusting kind of under skin shots in that. Exposed muscle, I should say. Probably a better term than underskin. I shall tear you to pieces as tribute to their memory. He's looking like what's that guy from Fantastic Four? Yeah, it's been a while since I watched that movie. When did that come out? Like the early 2000s? Something like that. I forget his name. Not The Rock. But he is a rock. I will just look that up. The Thing. Shouldn't know that really. The Thing's one of my favourite movies of all time. Not Fantastic Four, but the Thing, the remake from John Carpenter. Sorry, guys. Yeah, proper lizard-like Isidro said, isn't it? Proper strange-looking guy now, isn't he? Even more strange-looking. Actually, he might even literally look more normal now. As funny as that is to say. Not from the back, but like from the front, he almost looks more normal, face-wise. So what we've seen from him. Be very interested. I might even actually look up after this what Mozgus looks like in the 2016 anime. This transformed version. I think I've already seen what Mozgus looked like in that version. What this transformed version looks like. Although I imagine there might be some spoilers, perhaps. I'm pretty good at kind of avoiding them. What a tough bastard. As powerful as an apostle. If I'm not careful, he'll be tougher than one. Come hither, great strength. Ooh, Come hither, Superpower. Ooh, I think that's the sound effect there. Again, I really like this technique from these guys. It's really cool, isn't it? Ah, crap. Here they come again. But get low enough, right? If they just lay on the ground and plank like that, surely these demons will just have to hit their head in the ground before they actually hit the shot of snapping them. Perhaps. That's my way out of this. Yes, yes. Look away. Gah. Holy crap. Really? You can spread them into many hands? Holy shit, we're getting bloody all rad here, aren't we? Getting JoJo'd. Grah. Yeah, holy crap. Here we go. The Bestial Priest 1 ends. So I'm going to probably make this outro quite quick because as you guys can maybe tell from the amount of cuts and the amount I've been scratching my bloody eyes, my hay fever has been pretty bad. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Again, some really nice artwork as usual. Like I always mention that, I really don't even need to mention that at this point. But yeah, some really really nice fight scenes here, wasn't there? Interesting that Guts actually caught a sight of his son as well. Really interested to see where that goes, to be honest with you. Again, I'm pretty sure I have a pretty good understanding of where that's going, but it's very interesting, isn't it? Yeah, some nice artwork. I'll read the comments of that last chapter in a second. Nice job from Isidro. Isidro was absolutely awesome in these chapters, wasn't he? Yeah, let's read some comments real quickly before I go. Oh, his name's Jerome. I completely forgot that. This guy's saying, why is nobody talking about Jerome? I mean, he's a nice guy, but like I've said, he hasn't really done anything before today. Don't get me wrong, he's tried to help us, but he's just kind of useless guy, you know what I'm saying? He's just kind of there for me. Again, he's a nice person. I just don't really care at all for him, personally. He's not kind of awfully well written. He's not got a kind of interesting story or anything. He's just some guy. Some almost sleazy guy. And it was introduced via prostitution, so yeah. Oh yeah, some other people are saying the same about this guy Mozgus looking like the thing. But yeah, some more love for Isidro again. Isidro is really great in these chapters, but yeah, looking forward to seeing how we end off these Bestial Priest chapters, or chapter next time with the end of that, and then I think what was the other chapter we'll be doing next time? It was Those Who Cling and Those Who Struggle. So yeah, two interesting chapters. Can't wait to see the end of this fight as well between Mozgus and Guts. Again, Mozgus, a very well built character. I think he's a very good kind of antithesis of what I just said about Jerome. Mozgus has been built up for a long time. I've seen a lot of his kind of past and a lot of him in the present as well, a lot of his actions. So looking forward to seeing how his kind of story goes. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this one down in the comment section. Leave a like on the video if you guys liked, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date with these reactions. I'll be back next week with the next 2 chapters, so I'll see you guys then, and enjoy the rest of your day.